There's so many HTCs in the market. I'm ticket closer. You get me a lead, and I'll close them. Just make sure that lead has.
What I'm curious about is what is the cost to companies who don't have this discipline with their sales reps? We're back. Outbound fluff, no sales. Nothing kills sales more and is more fluffy than the topic of today's episode. Hardly anything. The HTC follow-up and what to do about follow-up. This is going to be more of a rant with real experience and examples. If you enjoy this episode, let us know. Hit subscribe if you hate it. We'd love for you to let us know. If you have some feelings about it, also let us know. But in the meantime, ready to dive into this one, Ryan?
Ticket closer. You get me a lead, and I'm gonna close them. Why does it matter? If you actually follow the process, you're gonna get them back into a conversation, and you're gonna get a result.
Ryan, how many meetings are we going to get?
How many people are you gonna follow up with? I mean, I sent a post this morning about it. It's like, it's like this consistent theme around, we are following up. Well, the CRM doesn't show that anyone's making any calls to it. Oh, well, I didn't log it. But I've definitely been trying them. I've tried them a ton. They've gone dark on me. Do you think you could get them back on the phone for me? No, I don't. I don't think I know. Watch this.
One of our
Load the
clients yesterday
list.
said to me, bro, that's how he started. I'm like, yeah, bro, that's why I have SDRs, bro.
Yeah, and
They call them.
It's why the leads that are generated from the SDRs will never close, because you don't respect the person on the other side of the line. The other side of the line, like, you think that it's beneath you to try to give them a call back to continue the conversation because they won't show up to a scheduled Zoom meeting that no one wants to fucking take because they don't know who the fuck you are, and you called them in the first place with somebody who couldn't answer questions.
I don't attribute to malice what you can attribute to incompetence. I think most people are just, they're not trained, they're scared, they're inexperienced, so they don't want to touch it. Who wants to feel like a failure? You call someone back, it's a follow-up, you show what you've got or don't have on that call, and you take it personally. It's what we talked about on the episode with Josh Braun. Like, when you're so attached to the outcomes, it all matters so much to you. You call the follow-up person back. I was just doing it. I heard it now in coaching. One of our reps, Tyler, just called someone back, his follow-up call. And the guy, basically, as soon as he figured out what the call was about, he goes, we're not buying anything, before he could even get through to it. And Tyler did a good job being like, okay, I was just calling to see if this had changed since the last time we spoke, because you had told me ABC. Is that still the case? Yeah. We're not buying anything. Thanks. We're good. I feel like that's called a conversation. You're learning something. It's not now.
There's two things to unpack from that. Number one is that person who's getting called is so tired of getting called by really crappy salespeople who consistently just try to shove their agenda down their throat instead of actually just having a conversation, that the immediate response is, no, I'm good. I use this all the time. Go to the mall. I go to the store at the mall. Someone walks out to me. What brings you in today? Don't worry, I'm just looking. It's like, no, I'm not looking. I drove all the way to the fucking mall to buy something. If I was just looking, I'd be online these days, right? I'm here in the store because I want to buy something. But my response is, I'm just looking. Right? It's not the truth, right? But that's just how we are. We're just conditioned now because of how many really, really, really bad experiences we've had with people who just try to shove shit down our throat and won't listen to what we have to say. So that's one thing to unpack here. How do you overcome that? Because the idea is when the person says, "Hey, we're not buying anything," it's like, well, it sounds like you're getting people trying to sell you a lot of stuff these days. You can label it, yeah, whatever, right? Oh, that's fine. If you're not looking to buy anything right now, that's not even the intention of my call, right? I had you as title of company, right? Then you get right into the, I'm not the reason I'm reaching out was to see if it even makes sense to have a conversation, but we're helping people just like you with these problems, blah, blah. Like that's the types of conversation you want to get into. It's a little bit different. You're labeling their situation, but you're overcoming. I want to say overcoming. You're changing. You're breaking the pattern of this
Mm,
resistance, right? You're breaking the
yeah.
pattern of this resistance. So that's number one. There's a lot to unpack there. But then the other piece of it is the reps and their inability to like just take it, right?
Well, and let's be clear.
Like,
The reps
let's go post online because I called someone and they said they don't take fucking calls and they're a salesperson. I would hate to be a person on their team. It's like maybe they're tired of getting people called by people like you that where they don't need your shit. Maybe that's the case, and that's okay.
and let's be clear about this, because the reps that we're placing, who are the callers doing this every day, they rarely, if ever, have that fear to go make the calls. And
No,
often
it's the salespeople.
the good AEs, the hunters, also don't have that problem. They're hard
Name
to come
one.
by.
Name one. Haven't found one.
Plesman.
There's not one.
I like this guy. You'll catch up on this one, but we might have found one. But that's the problem is,
But that was it. That's at the same exact count when the guy said, "Bro, I have
well,
SDRs." Right?
that's his counterpart. He takes all
Okay.
accounts
Cool.
under
All right.
500. The guy who takes
Okay.
him over 500 is the guy who's
Okay.
like, I'm not
All right.
calling them. That's why I have SDRs. And it's like,
Yeah. Well, yeah,
dude,
whatever. Okay. So maybe there's one out of how many? It's just
it's
it's
a lot.
killing me. There's so many HTCs in the market. I'm a high ticket closer. You get me a lead, and I'll close them. Just make sure that lead has the budget, has the
Qualifies,
authority, has
has
the need, and the
has a meeting on my
timing. And
calendar
if
with
you
the Zoom
send
link.
that person and they show up to the link and they have all those things right now, I'm going to close them. I'm a
Oh my
high
God.
ticket closer, 100% close rate, bro. All the time. Hey, by the way, got any leads? That is the HTC. I'm a high ticket closer. You give me some leads, I will close them. You give me a lead that has the budget, the need, the authority, and the timeline, and they show up to my calendar and they're there. I'm gonna close them. You get me in the room, I'm gonna close them 100%. Hey, Ronen, got any leads?
uh,
Do you see the problem with that? I'm a high ticket
yeah.
closer. High ticket closer.
So what's the solution?
Dude, if you just get me in the
How do
meeting, if you can just get me in the room, Ronen, I swear, you just get me in that room. In these cases, you get me in that Zoom, not even in the
get me in that
room.
Zoom?
You get me in that Zoom, boom,
You want to
boom.
be in the room,
The
the Zoom
Zoom, boom,
room.
boom room. You get me in the Zoom, boom, boom
No, so
room.
Ryan,
Raise
let's
boom,
get
boom room.
practical here.
HTC, baby.
Let's Mr. HTC, let's get practical, because people watching this who don't want to, you know, do what everyone's doing that doesn't work. If you're watching this, you're an AE or a founder who's closing, and you want to be able to bridge that gap. What is the solution? What is the best way to move things forward?
Fire every person that won't pick up the phone and follow up with leads. That's number one. Very simple. Like if you're going to invest in a lead generation service and your salesperson will not pick up the phone to call those leads, regardless of the source of them, you should just fire them on the spot.
Here's a bigger question.
That's solution number one.
Okay.
Fire them all. Easy. If you want to establish a culture of sales excellence, like an organization that actually believes in what it takes to move deals down the road, you have to eliminate every single person at that company that's going to have this attitude of, I'm not going to make the calls because it's beneath me. Now, let me get this let me be very, very straight here. If the leads that are being sent to these people truly are shit, like the rep needs to have like a level of discipline to look at the lead, determine, oh yeah, that's probably not going to be somebody worth my time calling. And so I'm going to deprioritize them from calling right now. If I'm busy and I'm closing deals, I should put that aside and I should close deals. No doubt. Stay, but you need to be calling the stuff. As a sales rep, your job is, if I'm not in a scheduled interaction, which they all want, my Zoom, boom, boom, HTC, get me in the lead, I'm going to close them. If you're not closing in a meeting with a customer, then you should be into the very next best conversation that is available to you. Like that's what you should be doing all day long. If I'm not in a meeting, I'm making a call to talk to the next person to get the conversation moving forward into the next action. And if you're not doing that, then again, you should be fired. Now, if you look at a lead that's coming in and that lead is not someone that is as good as someone else you should be calling, then call the other stuff first. And eventually, because you're gonna have white space on your calendar, eventually when you have white space, you can go ahead and call those ones. And then you would satisfy everyone, including marketing. And then once you've reached them, I just had this conversation this week about a guy in coaching who was like, we got all these MQLs and most of them are crap. Like out of 30, there's only like two that I would call. It's like, cool. So look at it, deprioritize it, call the two. And if you still have time, you have nothing else to do, then call the other 28. And when you call the other 28 and you actually have a conversation and they actually are shit, you have real data to feed back to the engine to say, hey, guys, we've talked to them all and here's
Yeah.
the result. Let's get better at getting better stuff in. That's the whole point of talking to people. Let's stop making assumptions to say, oh, we think this or that. Just talk to them. But you can deprioritize them if you're busy. Now, most of you aren't busy though. Every single customer we talk to, like that comes to us, like, oh man, we can just get more at bats with our reps. Like, why don't your reps just fucking pick up the phone?
Well,
Pretty
that's the
straightforward.
problem is they can't get more at bats with the reps, but they're leaving at bats out there without taking a swing. And
They don't need more at
what I
bats.
know
They need the reps to pick up the
exactly.
phone. Just call back the bats they already had.
What I'm curious about is what is the cost to companies who don't have this discipline with their sales reps?
Millions and millions of dollars.
Why?
Well, there's the several $100,000 that they're probably wasting on just the labor and expenses and all that stuff. But then it's all the lost revenue. It's millions of dollars. Like if you're paying a professional salesperson in 2026, you ought to have a product or service that's probably worth, tens of thousands of dollars minimum, right? Otherwise, you probably don't have a professional salesperson. Now there might be some SMBs that listen to this, but whatever. Even in that case, there's probably still millions of dollars on the table over time. I just doing this work for one of the private equity companies that I work with. He owns a B2C consumer package. We just did a pilot today on their data, and they're calling back their small little retailers that have ordered in the past but haven't ordered for a while. And it's like stomping beer cans. It's like holy crap, makes me want to go just do consumer packaged goods. Remember, I told you there was a play for this. Makes me think about going to do consumer packaged goods because it's still B2C. It's not direct to consumer, it's B because it's
Right.
business, but
It's
it's still a
B2B
direct to
still.
consumer. It's B2B to them because it's retailer, but they sell a consumer packaged good to small retailers. In any case, they're calling these small retail shops and it's like literally all of them pick up. It's crazy. There's none of this other. It's like it's either the founder or someone else. You get the name real quick, and they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we have this little order. We want you to reorder." Super simple. It's hundreds of dollars per order, and literally, I've had a total of like 6 conversations, and 3 of them are probably gonna reorder for a couple $100. It's like a couple $1,000 of reorders in a total of an hour and a half of calling. Amplify that, 8 hours a day, that's 10 like, it's probably $1,000,000 a year, just fucking
Mm,
selling $200 beverages every order. So that's the small end consumer packaged good. Why did I go down that rabbit hole? Because most people hiring a professional salesperson in 26, the people that we talk to, these guys are making 6 figures in base in most cases, plus upside. They ought to be bringing in millions of dollars of new business for your company. Otherwise, why the fuck are you making the investment? Because you just want to burn your fucking VC's money? Sure. Doesn't make any sense, but whatever. So it's millions of dollars of missed revenue opportunity. And then it's the hundreds of thousands of dollars of labor and training and all this other bullshit. Not to mention all the tools and data and dialers and sales acceleration, all this bullshit you're investing in that's not moving the needle for you because your rep's not doing the goddamn job. So that's the cost.
yeah. It's it's mind-boggling. I don't think in today's day and age you have a lot of people left who want it and get it when it comes to being a seller. What that actually means is you're going to pick up the phone, follow up, and stay in front of people instead of relying on technology, AI, all these other things to do it for you. I know there's lots of fancy tools out there today, and they all have very promising solutions to make your life easier as a seller, especially if you're in the tech world. Especially if you're in the tech world and you sell the sales, then you have access to this whole suite of tools literally built to replace fundamental sales activities, which turns them into non-critical thinking, lazy activities. And what ends up happening with any muscle when you don't
Which
use it,
will be replaced by a robot in a very short
and
period of
it's
time.
what happens with any muscle that you don't use. You don't use a muscle, it atrophies, it loses strength. That's why our cold callers who are making 150 to 200, not 200, but 180 dials a day, and sometimes having 30 or 40 connects, they're building that muscle, and they often sound better and look better than the AEs who are going to go make the calls. It's repetition, nothing else to it. But it's the AEs who are hardly ever doing the outreach. You kind of get back on that bike for the first time, you're rusty. It's like, oh wait, how do I do this thing again? And then
It,
they
it's
don't
ri-
they
it's
don't do it
it's
again.
it's ridiculous to me because the AEs that are getting supported by SDRs have to have deals in their pipeline right now before they even have SDRs. Before you go hire SDRs, an AE ought to have deals in their pipeline. That AE that ought to have deals in their pipeline needs to be on the fucking phone following up with stuff that is not moving forward, unless they're world class schedulers, which most people do a pretty good job of trying to get next actions. Although a lot of the companies we meet with don't always schedule those next actions. If you're getting everyone to schedule, kudos to you. That's great. You get everyone to schedule your next call. It's not going to be 100%. So there's leads sitting in your pipeline that even if you schedule, then they miss. Then what do? Then they go dark on email. You pick up the phone and you call them. You go, hey, we had this thing. Are we going to get this back on the calendar, or have you completely decided to go another direction? No big deal. Either way, no big deal. How do they not make those calls? Because it's not 100%. This is the whole ghosting thing. Oh, they went dark. Like you scheduled it, they canceled it, and then you decided to not call them back to be like, hey, like as soon as they canceled it, by the way, as soon as they canceled it, just pick up the phone. Hey, I know we had this call. Looks like it's not going to work for you, but what do they do? No, they send the email. Right? That's always the first thing. Oh, they canceled. Let me try to reschedule via email. It's like pick up the phone immediately. Right when they click the cancel, they're literally probably on their mobile device canceling it. And you should have their number if they're in your pipeline because you should ask for it to the fucking cell phone. You don't
Question
always
is
do that. You
if
don't always do that, but you should. That's what good salespeople would do. And then, it's like, hey, you just moved this. But no, what do? Oh, we send the email. Want to reschedule? No, I don't. That's why I canceled on you. Oh, but now I don't get an answer.
pick up the phone, do the follow up. There's fat stacks in the circle backs. If you had some feelings or thoughts about this episode, let us know in the comment section below. As always, I'm Ronen Pessar. This is Ryan Reiser. We're the Outbound Operators. And stay tuned for the next one.